today. And we might finish this. We'll see. So, for anybody new here, we are following along with the Joy of Painting tutorials from Bob Ross. We are working on Season 3. And we are currently up to Episode 10 in this season. The infamous Campfire episode. The link to the full tutorial on the Bob Ross YouTube channel is pinned in the chat for anyone that wants to go and watch it in full. Because we have it muted. We do have closed captionings on it, but we don't have it playing very often. We are only playing it when we are advancing what we're working on. And this is a slower medium than paint, at least for me. So we don't advance it very often. Now, I think we're getting closer to being done. We're at 21 minutes of a 26-minute one, which is why last night I frantically managed to get the Dowel Rods painted. Ironically enough, I had a paint color called Wine, which was the color that we used as our background. It's a little bit more burnt than the wine that we used from the yarn, but I think it still kind of works. Because none of the other colors really felt right. So I've got those ready to go in case we do end up getting that far today, and I think we probably will. We will see. So today, or right now, we're going to be working on putting in our little guy. Where's my... Hello? Oh, I didn't pull it out. Thought I pulled everything out. Like, where's my needle? We can't do anything without the needle. Alright. So we have to work on getting our little guy in. This is going to be kind of nerve-wracking for me. I'm not sure where I want to start on him. I think I might start on his butt, actually. This is going to be working very small. Alright, so let's see here. We kind of have a leggy kind of sticking up here. This even looks remotely close, will be good. I don't know if it's gonna. Right, we need the other half of the leggy. Thank you, Loud Vibrating Vehicle, for that. That's helpful. Not really. Okay, so we need our other bits of our leggy. I'm not even sure if we can see where we're at here. Alright, so if we kinda this looks bad. Alright. And we need a little booty boot. Remember, we're working on the foot first. I can hardly see that, I'm so zoomed out. I mean, I guess you kind of get the idea there. Although, we don't look like we're very connected, so... Goodness, alright. Gotta be careful because it's kind of thick in here. So gotta be a little bit gentle. Okay. So now our thigh looks a little skinny. So I need to add a little bit more to that guy. Like, not a ton more. But we definitely need to beef up that leg a little bit. Okay. So then we kind of have to get the side of our guy put in here. Why is the traffic loud now? It's been fairly quiet the entire time I was sitting here getting ready, eating lunch. Hardly any rumbly traffic, and now it's gonna be all of the rumblies. Okay, I don't wanna cover up my tree highlight. Well, I mean, I guess we could cover it up a little bit, because he might be blocking some of it. But we definitely want him touching the tree. I don't want to space in there. Alright. Probably need just a little bit more. Like, not a whole lot. We have a very fine line that we need to walk here. Kind of felt like he needed a little more sticking out there. Now, we kind of need to make our arm get taffy. I really like the sound of the needle. Yeah, it's kind of soothing sometimes. Now I'm using a wool mat, so I think that's also part of it. If you use like the hard styrofoam mats, it's real scritchy. This one kind of sounds like crunching snow. This is a needle felting mat from Wool Buddy, not sponsored. That's why I have the name taped over in the corner, because they've got a name tag on their pads. But I like this pad. Alright, so we kind of have to get our arm badly coming down here. Oh my goodness. Apologize for the traffic. It's loud today. I don't know why. Not a whole lot I can do about the traffic noise. Oh, that was not beefy enough at all. Alright, we have to thicken that guy up. I hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day. Just a little bit of water, just to make this a little bit easier to control. Alright, I'm gonna snip that end off of there. So traditionally people will use roving for this. I'm using acrylic yarn that I've just brushed out with a sticker brush, pet grooming brush. This is probably going to be too big now, but we'll see how this goes. Sometimes when you start tapping in here, it has a way of shrinking down. See what we can do here. This has been a tough one to follow, because it's been so dark and so much of the seam color. It's been a little tricky. I mean, I guess that's not so bad. He's got a lot more air there. I'm gonna have our arm, I'm gonna have the tip of our arm not really be all that visible. The tricky part here is trying to get this hat in. So you had a lazy day. How was your day so far? So far it's okay. We had some We almost had a car emergency earlier. That wasn't fun, but fortunately we figured out what was going on. It didn't end up being too bad at the moment. We'll see how this goes. People are not my strong point, so we are working on the brim of the hat now. And then we have to try to highlight this. That's going to be the tricky part, really, is trying to get in here to highlight this guy. We don't have a whole lot of room to work with. When I do needle felting, I just use package material underneath, and then it just makes more of a crunch noise. Yeah, I like this mat. It's held up pretty well. We've had it almost a year. It'll be a year, I think, July or August. Considering that we don't do necessarily traditional needle felting with the critters very often, it's held up fairly well. I mean, there is some fluff stuck into it. That's gonna happen, at least with how I'm doing it. But It cleans up pretty good. We were able to shave off the extra with just a razor blade, and I'm fairly happy with this mat. And sorry if English isn't the best. I'm still learning. Hey, no worries. If I'm not sure of what you mean, I will ask you to explain. Or ask for a different explanation, but no worries. I've previously worked in industries where not everyone spoke English very well. So I can kind of figure out what you mean for the most part. Kind of. And if I'm really not sure if I'm in the right direction, I will ask to clarify. No, it's all good. So now I need to kind of fix the brim of the hat here, because the top of the hat, where the head goes into it, is a little small now, or is a little big now, so I have to make this a little bit bigger to kind of fit. So it doesn't look quite so silly. As best as we can. We're also stabbing through quite a lot of layers of yarn. Quite a lot of layers. So that's going to add to the crunchiness. So like, without going through this many layers of fluff, I mean, it doesn't sound too different. It's a little bit softer. Just tapping the mat itself. It's a little bit louder with the with how much yarn we have on here. Yeah, it's not so bad. We will do our best. And that's all we can do. Okay, so he highlights him with a little bit of yellow and a little bit of orange. I think I might just stick with like the goldy color that we've been using, because this is going to be tough enough to get this highlight in here. So I'm using just a little bit of water, just like a drop off of my finger, just to make this a little bit easier to use. Yes, we are. I am in the state of Arkansas currently. I'm originally from New Jersey. Oh, I'm gonna be able to get this in here? It's very thick here. And I also got that bit of fluff a little thick. If I can at least get it in there enough to attach it, that's all I'm really concerned with. I think we're... I don't think it's gonna come off. There we go. You are from Switzerland. It's nice to meet people from another continent. Wow, I don't know if I've ever met anybody from Switzerland. Not knowingly. So nice to meet you as well. just trying to pull this out a little bit. I don't want too much here. Oh, I can hardly see it in my hand though because it's so light. Ah! Okay. Sometimes the thinner pieces can be a little tricky. So we need to try to get a little bit of highlight on the shoulder here. Oh, I have to hit the brim of the hat too. And like kind of coming down the arm a little bit. Just a little. Just a little. Don't want too much. I don't want it to be like a stripe down the arm. It's hard though with this medium to kind of get the point across because we're also following a painting tutorial, so this is not paint by any stretch of the imagination. So it's a little bit trickier. Just a little different. But this is the 10th one that we've followed in this tutorial series of his. And I think this has been probably the most tricky. Next week we will start to work on, at least I think we'll be starting to work on the 11th one in this series. He's got a little bit on that thigh too. Shit. Alright, let's see. I might have to trim this one down. We'll see. My thigh is not that big. Okay. Tell you what, let's put that in half. That guy over there. And we'll stick this guy kind of here. Nope, nope, nope. You go over there. The fluff is very lonely today. It wants to stay attached to me. Okay, that's not so bad. My confidence has not been very good on this one. Because I originally was going to skip this one. But I had a couple people talk me into it. I wasn't quite sure how it was going to go. Some of them are a little bit easier to follow along with needle felting than others. Are you whining? What's the matter? What's wrong? I don't have any food, puppy. Do you have to potty again? What's the matter? Hi, Momo. Yeah, we have to potty again. Alright, Doggo wants to potty. You got him? Oh, okay, never mind. Husband's gonna get him. Okay. Happy to announce that you understand most of the things you say. You try to improve English while watching something interesting. Well, hey, you know, whatever works for you. I used to be able to speak a little bit of French, but then I stopped using it and I forgot everything. Well, not everything. I know a couple things still, but not like I used to. So I'm kind of mad that I lost so much of what I had learned, but like I can sing the alphabet song in French, but that's about it. They used to make us say the the Our Father at the school I went to in our French class in French. Like, we had to say it at the start of every class, and I can't remember how it went anyway now. But I can sing the alphabet song. Our little guy didn't come out so bad. Alright, I'm gonna play the tutorial a little bit. I do have it muted, so you're not gonna hear anything. I just want to see. Oh. Well, I already have enough grass on there. I'm not going to worry about that. We kind of already have it tucked in around our grass in here, so. Alright, then he's just smoothing everything out. I don't know what he has left to do. Because... Oh, what color is that? Hold on. What did you do, sir? Was it white? Come down here. Use a little bit of the dark color. That's not dark. That's not dark. I don't know what color he just used there. It wasn't dark. That was like kind of a light yellow. It wasn't really white. Bob, what are you doing? I'm looking at my colors real quick that I've got next to me. My French isn't the best anymore either. You haven't used it in years. Yeah, like I learned it in high school and I was doing really well. Like, I could translate most written stuff I could translate. I was better at writing translating than I was at the pronunciation of things, but I understood the point. For the most part, reading was my stronger than listening though. But now forget it. I can remember a couple of things and the alphabet song. That's it. I get my and uns confused though with objects. Always had trouble with the fact that some objects were considered feminine and some objects were considered masculine, and I'm like, but it's a book. It's a thing. And that was always a tough point for me. Oh my gosh, am I gonna put this water line in? I don't know. The bag on this color has been through the war. I've had to tape it closed. It got ripped. I have another bag, I just haven't transferred it yet. So this is a very light yellow. I don't know if this is gonna look right. Like, I don't... Oh, I left Bob going. Hang on. Bob. Oh, he starts... Oh, okay. What did he do? Oh, he popped a bush in there when we weren't looking. Is that what he did? Yes, he did. Okay. So, I mean, that looks a little bit yellower than this. Silly Bob. Try German. There's 3 of them. Oh my goodness. Oh no. I would be so confused. That was the hardest thing I had with learning French. I'm like, but it's a thing. Why is... I don't understand. Oh my goodness. I know English has got to be crazy. Because we have so many words that are spelled the same and are pronounced in different ways that make it mean something different. And then we have words that sound the same but are spelled differently that changes their meaning. It's crazy. Like there, and there. Like they're the place. They're belonging to somebody. Although there might only be 2 spellings of that now that I'm thinking about it. I'm dyslexic, so sometimes I think there's a 3rd spelling and there isn't because I'm wrong. But there's at least 2. And wind and wind and... That's very white on there. Well, I guess we can do a little one. He said dark color, but he did not put a dark color down. Maybe he meant in the dark color a waterline. I don't know. I haven't been a huge fan of this season because of the camera angle. It's been very either zoomed way in or it's sitting out at a 3/4 view where you can't really see anything. So I've been struggling. I haven't noticed if the other seasons are like that as well. I've only noticed this season because I'm trying to follow it, where it's been a little extra annoying, troublesome, I guess. Biggest trouble you have with English is that there aren't many rules to figure out how to write something you know from hearing. French is much more consistent in that way. Fair enough. And then we have so many slang words for so many things. That doesn't help either. Oop. Fluff flying everywhere. I'm not sure if we really needed this water line in here. Gonna snip that a little bit shorter. Let's see. He kind of has a little bit of it down here, but that's gonna get covered with our piece of wood that we're gonna put down there to frame this out, so I'm not too worried about that, because that very bottom edge we're not really gonna see very much of. I mean, a little bit of it might show through. Zuzu, let's go potty. Now the other...
Come on, Zuzu.
Come on, doggo.
Come on, let's go pee-pees. Oh, it's a Wiggles. Come here. Come here. Oh,
he's being weird.
He's sniffing. We smell of other dogs and whatnot.
Yeah.
Come on.
So now other doggo gonna go potty. Plus we're watching my husband's aunt's dog. That's just gonna disappear there. That's so tiny. But English slang is easier to understand than French slang. Is it really? I don't know any French slang. And then you get people like me that just make up words. Sometimes. I haven't yet today. Sometimes I just call random things not the word that they are. I'm like, you know, the thing. Which doesn't help. Good boy, doggy.
Good boy, Zeus. There we go. I know. If you're good, I know Wiggles is. I know.
We have to pay the doggy tax now. They went out and did the potty. Now we have to give them the goodie.
Just a little training treat.
Yeah, but they seem to like it, so. I really don't know that I needed that there. Not sure how I feel about that being in there. Probably have to take this all the way around. I swear it's a really light yellow, but against all of this red, it looks white. French like to flip the order of their letters to create slang. In English, it would be like, oh God, wow, wow. Holy cow. Yeah, that would be really confusing. Oh my goodness. I never dealt with the slang words. I was still, like, I only learned like 3 years of French, so we didn't really get that deep into the slang words and stuff. We were still in the proper names of things. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, I don't think we have any slang words that are quite that crazy. Our little guy actually came out better than I was expecting him to. I figured I would mess him up terribly, but he's not looking too bad. Okay, so get this put into here. That was a little bit thicker than I wanted that to be, but if we keep tapping it with the needle, it should thin down a little bit. Alright, that's not so bad. Okay. Put that color away. So I have taken all of my yarn colors that I have, and I've gotten little bags that I've cut strips of the yarn and then brushed them out with the brush to get them into this state. And then I have a whole wall of these guys. Well, not in, like, an entire house wall, but I've got, like, a section, like, the width of a doorway, full of these bags. I would show you, but the camera's upside down, or it would look upside down on the camera, more than likely, but for how I have everything positioned. You had to learn, since you were in 3rd grade, it's mandatory to learn a second official Swiss language in school. Gotcha. Like, we only had to take a couple of years in school. It wasn't mandatory. Most people took Spanish here. I wanted to be different and take French since everybody was taking Spanish. The first year that I took it, I failed it pretty much because I did not understand the teacher at all. Her and I just were not connecting. But then when I got into high school, I took that same level of French again, and that teacher I understood. Alright, I think he popped in a bush here when we weren't looking. So we're gonna rewatch that section. He's stalling for time because he keeps fussing with everything. Okay. So the base of that shrub is kind of like here. Okay. Okay. I thought we were closer to being done, but in summer you will go to university and there's some lectures will be in English. Thankfully not in French. Oh my goodness, that would be tough. I would probably be able to pick out like a word here, a word there if I was lucky and be like, I don't know. Alright, so we kind of have to make our little tree, our bush shape here. So let's get this guy popped into here. I'm probably gonna have to do a couple passes with our branches here. So it's gonna get a little bit thinner. Oh, thank you for the follow. Hey, we got it working again. For some reason, the alerts weren't working yesterday. Thank you much. Most will be in your mother tongue German. Well, at least you'll understand most of them. Now, university for you guys over there is kind of like college? Or is it more what we consider high school? I think that's college for you guys, or what we would consider college over here. I think. I could be wrong. Because I know you guys have like different levels of school over in Europe than we do here. Kind of different. Not too far different, but it's like separated a little differently. It's where you get your bachelor. Okay. So that's kind of like what we would consider college here. So I think every country in Europe also has different in their education. Okay, yeah, because I know some places have like, they don't call it high school, they call it like something different when you're like, and the grades are kind of broken up differently. Like what we consider high school would be, let me think about this. 12, 11, 10. Would be like 9th grade through 12th grade, right before you would go to university over here. Essentially. And that's if you decide to go to college here. You could also decide to go to a vocational school and learn a trade instead, where you could learn to be an electrician or a plumber or those sorts of things. Just trying to make a small tree, basically. Little shrub guy. I don't know if it's really gonna stand out very well with all of this being the same color in here. We didn't have to put it in, but we're gonna try. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so we got this guy popped into here. And then we'll start to figure out what colors we're gonna make him. So Bob did like a combination. See, he did the same kind of combination as the grass though. So this is gonna be a little tricky. I might have to actually add red to this so that it pops out a little differently from the grass. Thankfully, the cost for studying will be way less than in the US. You're going to pay around wow. That is a lot less. Wow. That's like one book over here. Probably more than one book, but that's wow. That's incredibly a lot less. Sorry, I'm just pulling out some colors here. Let's go with those. Okay. So, I don't have that. I got a slightly bigger desk and I still don't have enough room. I need a large work table. I don't have room for that though. Okay, so I've got some, what's this called? This is called red wine. It's kind of just like a lighter red. I've got a color called cinnamon. Kind of looks like a rust color. When you want to become a hairdresser, plumber, here you go 2 to 3 days per week to a special school, and the rest will be in company and learning by doing. Cost of transportation, books, laptop are in the $400. Okay, well that's fair. But still, just to go, just to set foot into the building, that's pretty good though. That's a lot cheaper than here. So much cheaper than here. Wow. Like even the smaller colleges, or if you will, here are still in the thousands. Thousands upon thousands. And that's per semester. I'm just kind of mixing these 3 colors together. So I grabbed like a goldish color, a reddish color, and that like rust color. Just kind of want to get them mixed together. I don't have any sticker brushes or like the hand cards. Sorry, I have the sticker brush. I don't have the hand cards where it's 2 of these, but there's like straps on them where you have them on your hands. And this is hard to brush through with one hand. Like, it doesn't really work. It doesn't really work with one. So I'm just kind of pulling it apart. I'll pick up the hand cards eventually. Just haven't yet. The more I'm doing this, the more I'm like, you know, I would like this. That probably would make things a little bit easier. Okay, so we'll see how this is gonna work. Let's see here. Trying to find where all of my shadows and branches are so I can stay within it. See how this looks when we're done. Don't know how I'm gonna feel about this. Usually we have wind chimes that are constantly making noise in the background, but they're inside at the moment. So we had some bad storms a few days ago. And I wanted to bring them inside so they didn't get damaged. We just haven't had the chance to put them back outside yet. But it got cold again. It had been warming up. And they're talking one day next week we could have snow showers. When we were having spring temperatures. And I'm like, what? No snow. We're done with snow now. It's supposed to get nicer as it gets towards the end of March here, not cold and yucky. Well, I guess if you like snow, that would be different. You would want it to snow. Snow here is difficult because they don't, in the area we're in, they don't know how to handle it when it snows here. They don't know how to make the roads drivable or safe when it snows. And it's not very much snow. We can get just a light coating and everybody just doesn't know how to handle it here because they don't have the proper equipment because it doesn't snow that much here. So whenever it does, they're like, oh no, everything closes. Which is kind of silly because in the area of the country that I grew up in, the amount of snow here that shuts everything down, up there they would laugh at you because they're like, what do you mean? You shut down for this? I was amazed when we moved down here. It was just like snow flurries. It wasn't even really sticking on the road. It was sticking to the grass. They were shutting school down and sending kids home. And the second the snow stopped coming down, it melted like an hour later. And I'm like, they sent the kids home from school for this? It's all done now. I don't understand. It was very strange. You just worked a year and now you have enough to start setting the minimum salary around here. Wow, really? Yeah, it is an overreaction. I mean, the area that we live in has some mountains in it. And they don't have the equipment here to handle when the steeper roads get slippery. I don't know why. You would think that they would make it a point to have that, but they don't. So, and some of the roads are dirt roads in the when you get further out of the middle of town. There's not too many of those left, but there are a few. And people just, they don't know how to handle it here, and it's almost funny until you have to go out in it, and then it's like, come on guys, we need to do something with this road here. Alright, so not the best shrub, but at least you can tell it's something there, I suppose. Okay, I'm gonna close that one, I'm gonna stick this back in the bag it came from. Now, when I was working many years ago, the minimum wage when I started working in 1999, I think was, oh, what was it? Was it $7 US an hour?
Probably would have been $7.25.
$7.25 does sound about right. So yes, $7.25 an hour US. I mean, granted, that was a few years ago, but I don't think it's actually improved since then. It depends on where you go. Some places are starting to bump up their minimum.
As I recall, at a federal level, it has not increased.
But it's more like business choice than you have to pay this much. So some places have bumped up to a minimum of $10 an hour. It depends on where you go to work, really, and what you're doing. There were jobs that I was doing at that time that I thought should have been at least $14 to $15 an hour for the amount of things I had to deal with, and they weren't even paying 10. So it's crazy. Alright, we're going to advance the tutorial. I'm going to hit play here and see what... Oh. That's what he did up there. I don't want to do that to mine. Mine's going off the... It's going to blend in so much with what's already up there. My tree's taller than that, Bob. Sorry. Alright, he's just... He's fiddling because I think he had extra time to kill. Because even when he signs it, he's at 24 and a half minutes and the thing goes until 26. So I think he stands there and he talks for a second. Okay, let me see if we can... Okay, so... That's Bob's. Ours doesn't really look like the same thing. Oh, I put all the fluff away. Cost of living is extremely high in Switzerland, so we need more money to survive. Sample for Big Mac in the US is 5. Wow. Okay, yeah, that is a difference. Alright. I didn't know it was that expensive to live in Switzerland. But I guess it kind of evens out a little bit. Because, like, the cost to go to school is so much less there. So I guess in some ways it kind of works out, maybe. One of the most expensive countries in the world. Really? That I did not know either. Alright, so we're gonna try to sign this as best as we can. I don't know if it's really gonna work too well, but we're gonna try. Sometimes you can read the initials, sometimes you can't. So that's supposed to be a D. And we'll grab another guy here. And we'll try to squeeze another one in here. Oh, I got those a little close. Oops. Oh well. We know we did it. sometimes making letters is a little bit easier said than done. Alright, so we've got our initials in there, and they feel pretty attached. Okay, so I'm going to try to make a little V here. Costs more, but have a nice infrastructure of public transportation, good public healthcare, very good education, high quality food, and tap water. So yeah, I mean, at least you know, you get something out of it, I guess. At least it sounds like there's a good trade-off. That the money goes towards something. This never comes out right, and I don't know why I keep trying to do it. So, this used to be, I used to put like a little paw print next to my initials, but I've since morphed that paw print. I've changed it into what I'm trying to make look like a flamingo footprint. It doesn't always work. It's very hard to do with the needle felting, especially on something so small. Because, I mean, this is 8 by 10, 8 inches by 10 inches, but, or approximately 8 by 10. But the tiny spot that I'm putting the little signature in is a little hard to work that small. Alright, pop that up off the pad. Okay, so I think we're done with the needle. We're gonna close that. It might, depending on the area you're in. Like, we're not confident in our tap water being safe where we are, because we keep getting notices about bacteria levels having risen every so often, and that they dumped more stuff in it to make it clean, but we only find out about it a couple months after it happened. And they were like, oh, it was still safe. And I'm like, if it was that safe, why did you have to send me a letter? So, some areas have decent public transportation, others don't. It really depends on where you are. I guess. So, but we don't live in an area right at the moment that has, what do we want to call this? Has great infrastructure. We kind of live in a town that used to be a farming community. Alright, we're gonna try to trim this. And it's still very they're still trying to hold on to their old country farmland ways, even though the area is expanding. And they haven't really upgraded the infrastructure in this town very much. They're trying, but it's taking them quite some time to even upgrade the water lines. Because for a while, and apparently still in some areas of the town, people are periodically getting brown water. Is that you making tapping noises? Or
sorry, yes, that's my teacup, sorry.
Okay. No, I wasn't sure if my mom was knocking on the door. Okay. So. Alright. Okay, so it's a little wobbly on the edges here. Okay. So I think on this side, I'm gonna just trim this a little bit more. Because this side, it's a little bit showing through, but I think that's just from the sides being curled up. All right. Now, I'm going to, this is the bottom edge. I'm going to kind of move this fluff from the edge. I'm just going to trim this a little bit. Actually, I need the other scissors for this. Actually, these ones were cutting better. So I'm just cleaning this up a little bit so we don't have anything sticking below our attachment point for our wood. And this edge shouldn't be too bad. Just giving it a little bit of a haircut. Have to be careful you don't go too deep though, because you'll get the project. Okay. And then this side, I need to clean these scissors. Got something on these. I don't know what it is. Could be anything with all the stuff we cut. Okay. Alright, so now I need to plug in my glue gun. So I'm going to let that heat up here for a second.
In theory, yes, but I try not to talk over the actual streamer. I generally try not to. So I've just been quietly typing instead. Also, it's a lot more awkward to take a tea break while when I'm talking than when I'm typing.
Yeah, he's in the same room as me. That's my husband. So my microphone picks up the stupidest things. It won't pick me up talking right next to it, but it'll pick up a noise across the room. kind of infuriating. Okay, so I pre-painted these last night. Oh, it's gonna cut off our signature. Oh, all that. All that, it doesn't matter. Okay. So I do need to figure out how much we're gonna overlap each side, or hang over each side. That's not too bad. I didn't know the housing market was that tough in
Yeah, I was
in
gonna ask how
Switzerland.
rental is there. Because here, in theory, you can try to buy a house, but it's getting closer and closer to what you're describing, and our rents are bad too. But I don't know, like, what percentage of your average income is required to rent something.
It used to be renting was slightly cheaper than making payments on a house. However, in the last couple of years, I'd probably say since COVID, maybe a little bit before.
Oh, it was starting before that, dearest.
Rents in our particular area, which doesn't make any sense to me because we're a rural farming community, or what's left of it, rents sound like they're about as much as buying a house. Which is crazy.
For us.
For us, yeah. Because when we first moved into this area, the first few years that we were here, how long ago would you say that was? When did we move here? 2012? Maybe? Rents were under, well, in this particular town, they were between $400 to $600 a month. Now, people are charging, you're lucky if you can find something that's $1,000 a month. Usually I think the average has been about $1,200 a month. $1,200 a month, if not higher. Which is just crazy because there's no reason to be paying that much in this area. There's nothing here. Our town doesn't even have a McDonald's. Like, there's nothing here.
Well, again, as you're already aware, some crazy people really want that small town feel.
Yeah,
which probably doesn't sound as bad from your perspective. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Getafe?
I'm not sure. G.
G. Yo, G. That will suffice for now. But, that doesn't sound so bad, the small town feel. The small town feel in America, especially in the South, is a lot less, pleasant, quiet life and more, less people with darker skin.
Especially in this town.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not keen on being in this area, but what you gonna do?
No. It's weird living here because, where I grew up in, Atlantic City, New Jersey. So you had the casinos and the beach, and you had all of the tourists, and then there was people from everywhere working in there. And I worked there for a little while in one of them. and there was all different nationalities working there. And, you know, you get used to being around people from the Middle East, from India, from Africa, and all of their different language dialects going on around you. And it's like, okay, cool. And, you know, just colors of the rainbow on everybody. And then we came down here, and it was like, okay, this is weird. It's very weird for us because it's mostly white people here. And it feels weird. It feels weird. It looks weird. And, because we got so used to it. But down here, it's like very, very old South. And now, granted, we're not like in Georgia or South Carolina or Alabama. We're in Arkansas, which is kind of in the middle of the country. But they kind of like the mentality in some aspects in this area pre-Civil War. There's people that still fly Confederate flags around here off the backs of their vehicles and such. So it's quite the cultural shift from where we were to here. We're not fond of being here, but this is where we have to be for now. But we may eventually, if things work out, be moving out of this area in a few years. So. Get like guitar. F like in fish. E in the first.
So Getafe, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course.
That's how to pronounce music. Okay. So Gitfi. Don't pronounce the A at all. So get fishy.
What?
Fish. F-I-S-H.
Yes, but that's just the F
An
from
E.
fish.
So get fish E.
No.
Oh,
The F,
element.
like, from
L.
the fish.
L. So.
Honey, no. They're just saying how to pronounce that particular letter. They're not saying F is fish. Yes. An element is eh. So it's supposed to
So
Getafe.
Giffy. No, they're not saying the A at all.
Oh, I don't.
Get like guitar.
So is this how you expected to spend your afternoon? Well, in your case, what, morning? I think.
So Gipfy. No. E. Element. L. So E is an element.
Yeah. So Getafe.
No, they're not saying the A at all.
They just said I forgot the E. It's also like in guitar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh.
You tried.
I'm laughing at me.
Participation reward, you tried.
That sums up my life as a participation reward. Oh. I'm trying. Alright, I'm just trying to make sure that I get these in about the same place. Pronunciation is not my strong point. I have trouble reading a lot of books when the words are not normal words for me to use that I've never heard pronounced.
It also doesn't help that you're at least somewhat dyslexic.
Yeah, that doesn't help either. I can't tell you how long I saw somebody's name on Twitter, and I had been flipping the first two letters, and I kept saying, I'm like, oh, it's this person, and then, I kept saying it, and then suddenly one day I actually really stared at their username, and I was like, oh, I've been flipping the first two letters for like a year and a half. And their name was not that. It was something else. And yeah, I felt all sorts of stupid. I was like, oops. Okay. Alright, I think we'll attach our top one first. So this I'm gonna trim down because I did stretch the felt that we were needle felting into a little bit. So I don't want this sticking up above our wood. And if I don't trim it now, I'm probably not gonna have an easy go of it. Okay. I think our glue gun's hot enough. Well, you know it's chilly in here when the glue gun is steaming.
Oh, really? That's a little much.
I'm surprised it's not picking up on the camera. I don't want to burn myself, so I have a stick that I actually use to clean the fur out of my brush, or the yarn out of my brush when I'm prepping the yarn. A little bit of glue seep under. I should have left it alone. Ow. Hot. Okay, tell you what.
Okay, yeah. That's pretty rough rent-wise. I mean,
Oh, wow, yeah, that's a lot.
We'll have something like that from time to time, but usually closer to higher population centers.
There was somebody in town charging $2,800.
What was that with?
No, it was just for the house.
Where the hell was that?
Somewhere in town in the new subdivision.
Jesus. Well, good luck with that, I guess.
I think it was a 4-bedroom house.
Well, okay, that's a house rental, I suppose.
Well, a lot of the other houses were renting $1,200, so that's still a lot. Momo, what's the matter? Momo's one of the dogs. Why are you whining? Doggo is sick, so. Oh, it's not Momo. Or it is, and he's just facing away from
It might have been me.
Oh.
I did take a sip right before you said that. And it was not a quiet sip.
Oh.
Sorry.
It sounded like him, though. Sometimes these glue better than others. Could also be the one cat snoring.
Hi, boss.
It's a Bozzies. Yeah, my brother was telling us how much he bought his house for. I've seen a couple other ones pop up here and there that were a little bit cheaper, but they needed more work done inside. But I also think he paid cash for his. I don't know where he had $200,000 laying around in cash, but apparently he did.
I did not hear he did that in cash.
I thought it was in cash. I could be mistaken, but I think it's in cash because I think he said he bought the property outright.
Oh yeah, then that would be...
That would be cash. Oh, it's Cal snoring.
Oh.
Cal makes a tiny little honky noise when he snores because of his allergies. And I just realized he's on top of the crab tank. So, yeah, it's because Momo's like sound asleep. Back not facing me at all. How was Boz today? That's my chair. Sorry. It's not the greatest chair, but it was better than the chair I had. Though I'm also concerned I might have to replace my chair soon. With the way my back's been hurting. Okay. I'm just letting this glue get a little more cool. So it's still pretty toasty. I'm just trying to make sure that we're well englued because once or twice I've had these dowel rods pop off with the hot glue. It surprised me because I hadn't had it happen, and then one in particular kept peeling off and I'm like, stop it. So I just want to make sure that we are good and attached. Not too bad, you just got out of work. Nice. Hey Boz, guess what?
Are you actually going to make her guess what?
More things went wrong today. Russell went... So in the center of big cities, you have to pay around $7.32 per square meter, 10 square feet per month as rent.
Thank you for giving that in American units. We appreciate it.
Wow. So I don't know if you caught most of or any of yesterday's stream, but we have one of the aunt's dogs back. At least for a week, if not more. The aunt that was watching the Rottweiler had something go wrong, and she has to go take care of that, and that's going to take about a week, maybe. And I said, well, is she going to take the dog back when she gets done dealing with that? And we don't know. So we have the dog back. The dog doesn't like to be in the house. our boys don't like her being in the house. So now we have the added stress of dealing with her out in the RV. And her various issues. Did you have to put salve on anything today?
Nope.
Or eye drops or anything? Did you manage to get her eye drops?
Just the non-medicated.
Okay. And we don't know how long we're going to have her for. And Russell had to take Momo to the vet this morning. And the car didn't start again. And we thought the new battery just died. And I'm like, how? And Russell's like, well, it might be this, which shouldn't be too bad to fix. And he was going to try to jump the car with the lawnmower battery to see if there was enough in the brand new lawnmower battery. And saw that, what did you say it was? Some kind of connection?
The negative terminal was not properly connected. It looks like they just yoinked it off the old battery and put it on the other one. So, like, it wasn't tight on the battery. It wasn't holding on. So, like, it would occasionally jiggle loose. And it wouldn't connect anything because the battery wouldn't technically be connected.
We're not sure how well the fix he did's gonna hold now.
It should be fine.
But this car hit 100,000 miles and everything started going wrong. I'm like, what the hell? What is happening? Okay, so I need to be about that high up. Okay. On the plus side, I guess it would be a plus side. We had canceled the vet appointment, and then 10 minutes later, it's like, no, never mind, we're good, we're coming. Because they had actually called and said that they had a cancellation, and if we could come in early. No. You go that way. Ah, where's my stick? My stick forsake me. Nope. You get up there. So, Momo did go to the vet. And, they said his kidneys are fine. They think the mark that's coming back or showing up where he had the surgery on his neck, they think it's a wart. They don't think it's anything to worry about. We didn't ask them about his ears, though. He might just have an itchy face. Because it doesn't seem to be any one ear in particular that I've noticed. Not like the last time when he had the, like, yeast in his ears, so... Ah. Right, that wasn't dry enough yet.
Well done.
Well done indeed. I used the point too. That's alright, I think I have more of these. They were just thin kitchen skewers anyway. Yeah, so there's that, but it's like, it's always something, I swear. I don't know anymore. I'm just here, apparently. Let's see, I might be able to remelt that. As long as I can stay on the wood here. That is the important part. And I do have to tuck a little bit under on the front once this back gets dry enough. And then we have to attach our string. But this one wrapped up quicker than I was expecting, so I'm glad I managed to get those dowels painted. I have to order more. I don't know how this happened. And I don't know if I just mathed wrong, which is entirely possible. Or maybe I picked up an extra one just in case. And maybe, well, I mean, we hadn't planned on doing this one. And we did it anyway. And I think there was another one that I hadn't planned on doing that we did. But somehow I have 3 dowels left. 3 of these half dowels. And we still have 3 to go. Maybe I wasn't going to put one on the bottom. I don't remember what I was thinking. But now I only have enough half dowels for 1 more. So I have to order more. I don't know what happened. I guess I know brain good, so. Or maybe I just wasn't mathing correctly when I was ordering them. I don't know. But, so I have to order more from Woodpecker. Because on Amazon they were too expensive. Or they didn't have them. I can get something similar at Lowe's, but it's like 5-6 feet long. And it's gonna be a pain in the ass to get home. Or maybe it's 3 feet long. Might be 3 feet long, like in the molding section. But it's really expensive. It's cheaper just to buy them from Woodpecker. This is not cold enough yet. It's still tacky. So I don't want to flip it over again yet. Just have to wait a minute. So one bad thing about using it on high temp is that it takes a few minutes to cool down. Low temp cools faster, but that also gives me less time to work with it. And in fact, the times that it peeled off, I might have used it on low temp. So, see how... Oh, I can take these things off now. I probably should so I don't get glue all over them. But, see if I don't touch the back. So it's not, didn't come out too bad. I still have to tuck a little bit under there, but it didn't come out too bad. You can kind of see our guy. You can see him a little, there we go. Looks a little better there, closer. He didn't come out too terrible. It still looks like the whole thing's on fire to me, but his kind of looks like it's on fire too. So we got the same kind of vibe going. It's never going to look 100% like carbon copy anyway because we're using an entirely different medium, but you know, not too bad. So if this ever cools enough for me to flip it over safely, that it's sticking to the desk, we will start to put in our string. We might start to work on the sketch for the next one. Because we're done early. We're done earlier than I thought we would be. I thought we still had further to go, so that's why I started sooner. To make sure we had enough time. So, it's still kind of sticky. It's still kind of warm too, so I don't want to... It's not hot, like I'm not burning myself, but it's still pretty warm. You like the little guy? It's like Bob Ross says, this is fine. Yeah, pretty much. It's fine. We're all good. And then we'll attach our hanging rope. I mean, I should have expected that we were going to be done this pretty soon. Because we tend to average like 13 to 14 sessions, depending on the piece. But for some reason I thought we still had quite a bit more to do, because he can pack a lot into 10 minutes. Let's see, is it just a skin or are you actually hardening? If I start screaming ow, then it was just a skin. I mean, you can kind of see a little bit peeking out there, but I think we're probably good enough down there. So I did get this one a little not straight when we were cutting it, but you know, it's okay. These things don't like to stay straight for me when we're working on it. This side wasn't too bad. This side though, I always have one side that gets a little crazy. Alright, so this is just some jute rope from the Dollar Tree. The $1.25 tree. You finished cooking dinner and you're going to eat. It's around 8 p.m. here. Have a nice rest of your day, everyone. Well, thank you. You enjoy your dinner. Thank you for teaching us a little bit about Switzerland and how things go there. Good luck with your studying at university and your lectures. And you have a lovely evening. Glue strings. They're worse than spider webs. Well, no. Okay, spider webs are worse because you're trying to find the spider. But they're as bad as spider webs. Okay, so we will... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I tend to go 4 to 5 wraps on that. Okay, and get some hot glue all up in there. Make sure we're not going anywhere. Oh, that's what's hitting. I'm like, what am I hitting? Is there really a piece of glue that tall? No, it's hitting the stand. Alright, so now we have to let that side cool a bit. Before we can touch it. I don't know how these people make videos and like reels and shorts and stuff where they're using hot glue and they're like immediately have their fingers in it after putting it down. Like they're either on some low temp glue or they've lost all feeling in their fingers. I don't know. I'm like, how? Boz, they're saying we could have snow showers next week. I don't want your snow, Boz. Take it back. We had a couple 80-degree days like 2 weeks ago. I don't want the snow. Thank you for sharing, but I'm good. You can have it back. Probably no more feeling. Yeah, probably not. Because, I mean, I'll see these, like, even on Facebook, the few times that I pop on there to see if the town's melting, I see these videos that people are posting and hot glue. Oh, I've got my finger all in there. I'm like, what are you doing? It's hot glue. Like, what? No. Like, we were going to get our dirt tomorrow for our planter boxes out front.
I might still.
And I was like, I don't think we can plant yet. I don't think we're done with the freezes. Last night, it got below freezing. I think. Or at least it got close to freezing. When I woke up, it was cold in our room. And I'm like sitting here in a tank top and shorts. I'm like, why am I so cold? And I looked at the temperature for our area. And it was like 35 with a feels like of 27. And I was like, God damn, no wonder I'm cold. Now yours, blame Canada. Right, we'll blame Stone. Okay. Stone, take your snow back. I don't want it. I'm tired of this. At least it's only snow showers. It doesn't sound like it's going to stick. Because it said a low of 36 that day. So tonight it was supposed to be around freezing again, but now they're saying a low of 45. So now we have to make sure the heat's turned on out there for the dog and hope they have enough propane to run that heater until they get back. Which who knows when that's going to be. Because they're probably going to have to come back together because of the other dog that they have with them, or that one of them has with them right now. And I'm not so sure the owner of the dog is going to meet up with the mother-in-law and take that dog with her. I have a feeling the mother-in-law is going to end up being stuck with this dog the entire time she's in New York. It was 33 here when you woke up. You hate it. Ugh. Yeah, I'm kind of over this. We might still see if Florida can happen. I don't know yet. But it might be back on the list. Like I was saying before. Potentially. Let's see. That's probably a good... That's probably good. Okay. So let me lock you into place. Hopefully. Without burning myself. Because it's not like we have our stepchild, well, our adopted child in verbally only But it's not like we have property for any kids to leave property to, so if it's under water, it doesn't really matter so much in a few years. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I am going to snip that there. No, I snipped you. I snippied you. There we go. I didn't snip it all the way, apparently. I had one that had glue all over it, and I don't know what happened to it. I might have accidentally gotten rid of it when we cleaned and everything was getting rearranged. No. No. You need to be attached there, friend. You need to stay. Okay. Hopefully that will stick there. Yeah, no, I'm sick of this shit. I mean, I don't think South Carolina would be any warmer. Couldn't tell if that was a glue string. Sorry, I panicked there. I was like, oh fuck, the glue touched me. But it had cooled enough at that point where it wasn't gonna sear my skin off. So eventually, well, that might be what it's gonna dry as. Alright, so that still needs to solidify a bit over here. Ooh, ow. That's still a little toasty over there. Just little. Oh, goodness me. Oh, we might just stick around. Last night, I had been... What was I doing? I was working on something. Oh, it was when I was working on these dowels. I've had this reference photo that I've been holding on to. Let me see if I can bring it up. Let me see here. Let me hide that for a second while I see if I can find it. So, I like to look for photos on Unsplashed a lot. Let me see, is this gonna show? It is. Okay. So just while we're waiting on that glue to dry. So I've got a bunch of different stuff saved on there. Like you can make different photo album collections and what. There has been this one particular... I like textures and stuff. There's this one particular photo that looks familiar. I've used that one as a reference for a gouache painting. Actually, is that on? Hang on. Let me see if it's there. It should be. Yep, there it is. Okay, so that is actually on the Ko-fi page. So that was the reference. And then that was the gouache version I did of it. I mean, a little different, but, you know, it was alright. But, I've had this reference photo on here saved forever. And I tried a couple of times to do something with it. This one. And I just couldn't wrap my head around how I wanted to handle it. But I think I may have potentially come up with a way. But I don't know if that's going to work now that I'm looking at it. Like, in my brain, I was remembering this slightly different. So, I'm not sure. I think I might have an idea of how I want to handle that one now. We'll see. We'll see. But, I have a lot of stuff saved on here. Oh, we never went through our trip pictures. Sorry, I'm waiting for this to cool so that we can... Do I even have the... I don't know if I can go through the trip pictures though, because there's pictures of my brother in there. And he might get a little... upset. Did I even back those up? Hang on. I have to see if they're on my... I have the phone ones. Oh yeah, so, Russell had a, let me see here. Oh wait, hold on. Let me change that. Sorry, it takes a minute to, what image is this? There it is. Russell, when we were at the butterfly place, had an actual blue morpho butterfly land on his hat. I had a couple buzz my head. I did have one attach itself to my shirt. It was more of like a moth, though. Okay, so we'll go with that one. And why are you there? That's not where I wanted you to be. Like, I just opened you. Let me see. I found it in the one thing. Here. So that was more like a moth that landed on my I had like a crocheted lace overshirt that I had over top of my tank top. And so it landed on the side of it. And it decided to hang out there for 2/3 of the time that we were walking through there, and you're not allowed to touch them. So I couldn't, like, pick it up to get it off of me. And it stayed there until we got to the end. It was there almost 5-10 minutes. And it refused to detach from me. And I'm like, and there was nobody around that worked there. There had been somebody further in, like about halfway through the walking path. And then I didn't see anybody anymore anywhere. And I'm like, help. I'm like, I need to go, and it won't let go. Every so many feet they have like these air blowers to kind of create some wind currents in there for the butterflies to float on and stuff, and I guess it helps pollinate the plants and things. And we finally had to like grab the corner of my overshirt and kind of get it near one of these air blowers, and we were trying to like shake it in the air blower to try to get it to get off, because you're not supposed to touch them at all. And I'm like, it won't let go. I'm like, and I can't walk out of here with it on me. So, like, help. We could not find anybody. I'm like, this isn't good. This isn't good at all. But we didn't have the good camera with us for sunset because we had my mom with us for most of it. And we didn't want to deal with pushing the wheelchair and having the heavy camera bag with us. But and it was pretty crowded down there. I actually heard some people say where the farmers market is that we're going to check out, that it's a good spot to watch the sunset too. So I was like, huh. So we might watch sunset down there one night. How many of these windows did I open? Oh, that camera doesn't exist anymore. Okay. So that was from the tissue paper peacock that we did way back. But yeah, I've got just like different stuff saved on here and different collections and things. And this is free. Don't have to pay for this. And you can use these for, they have a section of royalty free that you can use for reference photos, and then they have a section where you need to pay to get the pictures. So I guess pay for a license to use them and whatnot. But they've got some decent pictures on here depending on what you're looking for. So, alright, I think this is cold enough now that we can, whoop, my bad, okay, so yeah, that's cold enough. Okay, we dicked around enough for that. So there is our finished guy. It didn't come out too terrible. It's alright. I know the one side's a little misshapen, but let me unplug this portable burn unit. so that can start to cool down. So, I mean, not bad. I'll have to get final image photos of it here. Let me hide YouTube again for a second. We'll move you over to here. We'll move that to there. See if we can get that as a usable screenshot without having to bust out the other stuff. Oh wait, that's not the wrong, that's the right, no, that's the wrong key combo. There we go, that's the right key combo. So, there's that. And, so I can take a look at the next one. Okay, so let me move this guy over. So this was our sketch from this last one. Okay. So let's see here. Oh, right. You're attached. I'm not sure if the tape was actually doing anything or if they just haven't gotten up there since I taped it. It was so ridiculous that I had to tape this to the desk. Because cats. Couldn't find my pencil. I have to put my fun tack on that guy still. We had to fun tack the security camera in place because people have been a little weird around here lately and they've been making me feel weird, so I'm afraid somebody's gonna make off with my Mingos once we get them back outside. Alright, so this doesn't have to be real exact. It can be a little crooked. And all that. So I wasn't quite prepared for us to be starting the next one. But we can at least take a look at it. It's probably a little bit small of a test sketch area compared to, well, I guess it's not that much smaller than the other one. Alright, we should probably keep this guy in the background maybe. Alright, so that's gonna be season 3, episode 10. Season 3, episode 11 is called The Rustic Barn. That I was apparently watching. I didn't realize. I just had an ad. Why are you giving me another one? Because I put the video in the beginning. YouTube? Sometimes you and I have been seeing ads like crazy for War Within. WoW's next expansion. been seeing them everywhere. Especially on YouTube, though. It's kind of crazy how much I've been seeing ads for it. Alright, this guy's just gonna be in the way. I'm just gonna move you over here. I'm done with you. Done with you. Hey, look, we have our colored pencils. I'm done with you. You go over there. We've got bits of our hot glue here. We're done with that. Alright, glue gun's unplugged. It is cooling. Lights off. Cool. Okay. So, this one, this doesn't really matter what color we grab here. So this one would be Season 3, Episode 11. Alright, so they're calling this one Rustic Barn in my shitty fast handwriting. So, let's see. We're doing an almighty barn on this next one. Apparently, the barn is going to be front and center. So I'm sorry, Bob. I'm just gonna bump you up. Phthalo blue and phthalo blue mixed in with the magic white that's already down. So kind of sorry, I was looking and I was like, is he like just pretending there's lighter clouds in there, or is he actually gonna come back in? Oh, he is gonna dull it down with brown. Oh, so blue and brown at the bottom. So we're gonna have some kind of water in this apparently as well. I don't know what color. Maybe denim? I'm trying to equate it to the colors that I have. And he only did it partially. Okay. Bob, I think I'm gonna need to go to the end here. They love this 3/4 view, and it is so frustrating. Okay. So okay. So looking at this, I guess we'll just grab this brown. This is gonna be a tricky one. Alright, there's gonna be a little bit of noise. I've moved away from the microphone. Sorry, Momo. Momo's like, what the fuck is that? Sorry, pencil sharpener. It does okay. Better than my other one. My other one would keep breaking the lids. Alright, so it kind of feels like we have a V shape in here, but like a rounded V. So maybe something like that. when it's all said and done. It might even be a little bit smaller than that. And then so like up in here. So it seems like there's some like dirt in here. This is very, very rough. Like very, very rough. So like in here we have like a pathway. And then we got some dirty things in here. And then there's kind of like a path over here that just goes to nowhere. Like it kind of like comes to here and then it just like stops. So I don't quite know what that's about. And our biggest challenge is going to be obviously this is going to get adjusted a little bit. That actually might be too, this might be too tall. Might need to shorten this a bit. So we've got an opening there. Feels like we're in Planet Zoo, doesn't it? We got another. Feels like we're trying to build our shed again. Again, this is kind of rough. He's got it on this weird ass angle too, which I'm not really feeling. So it's kind of like an A shape that's rounded at the top. And then, oh yeah, we're gonna have to make this a lot smaller. Okay, and then that kind of slopes down. And that kind of slopes to there. And then, oh, that just goes, okay. There's not much of an angle on that. Okay. Sure, I guess. So that side, see, this side feels a little bit taller. Always like watching the process of my mind, like being like, oh no, that's not gonna work. Oh shit. So you can tell this is definitely our test sketch. So I'm trying to figure out, it's not just like painting it, it's proportions. I'm really bad at proportions, but I'm also trying to think 5 steps ahead with the yarn, right? Because there's certain things we can do and certain things we can't do. We could try to make this misty part in the back, but I don't think we really need to. for ours, oh, there's a window up here too. Well, it is part of it when, yeah, like we have to try to translate this into different media. That might just be like a door, like a hayloft door, not an actual window. Oh, and he's got this, I don't know how we're gonna be able to, like, my angle's all wrong on this one. I know it is. But this building is sitting odd. Like, I think he was trying to give it a 3/4 view. But to me, it just looks odd. It is a yes, no. It's like, well, maybe. So, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to quite pull that off. And there's like this weird little, like, darker overhang. He's got a couple wispy clouds in there. So, like, whatever's happening over here kind of, like, goes this way and just stops. I don't... Like, there's shrubs here. Where did it go? Where did it come from? I guess it's supposed to, like, do a sharp turn that way. We don't see it. Is there, like, a gate hidden in the shrubs down there? I don't know. Maybe it only goes to there? Maybe it goes down? I don't know. So, sky. Let's get back to... Alright, so our sky color. I've got a fuck ton of blues. I know I tend to use the same blues, but he kind of works with the same color palette. Now, when we start doing some of our own stuff, and working off of our reference photos from Unsplash and whatnot, we'll be obviously branching out into some of the other colors I have. So, hang on. I have to pull out the colors from this project. So I've got somewhere to stick the colors that we're pulling out for the new one. Oh, damn cats. Sorry, I got really confused. I'm like, why is this in my yarn bucket? Because of cats, that's why. When they knocked everything everywhere. Okay. So, I think we're going to go with cornflower for our sky. It's so hard to tell on your phone you're blind. So, let's see here. Here's fluorine. It's not chlorine. There's one color blue that I always want to call chlorine, and it's not. Cerulean? I mean, that's not really... This is probably the blue I want. Absolute Zero? Yeah, okay, we'll go with that one. So, like, this is gonna be the sky color. So then we have to figure out, do we want to bring the sky color that's my charcoal pencil. That's what that is. I couldn't figure out what it was. You know which one? I don't know how to say it either. Yeah. Like, for some reason, my brain's like chlorine, and I'm like, no. There's not even an H in that. Or an I. And I'm just like, yeah, but chlorine. Oh my god. Sometimes I really hate my brain. I'm just like, what is wrong with me? Alright, so if that's the ground, we might cut the sky off about... I don't know. You know, we'll take this blue. Here, let me see. I'll write it out in this color. CERULEAN. I think it's supposed to be cerulean, but I want to call it chlorine. As soon as yeah. Yeah, I don't know why that's forever. That has been what I've wanted to call this color ever since I was little, and I would see it on the wrappers in the Crayola boxes. I'm like, yeah, the chlorine color. I like that color. Oh my word. I swear. I'm sure there are gonna be people that are just gonna eye roll and be like, that's not how it's pronounced. I'd be like, I know it's not pronounced that way, but you try explaining to my brain that that's not how it's pronounced and get it to stick. And I understand some people get upset about the way certain words are pronounced. I get that way about salmon, and Russell does it on purpose to me where he pronounces the L, and I'm like, stop it. And he's like, what, salmon? I said, stop it.
Are you talking about the salmon?
Yes. It's always been one of your favorite crowns. You don't know why this. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's a pretty blue, and I'll have like 500 other blues, and I'm like, no, that one. Has to be that one. Alright, so this is gonna be... I'm gonna have to write it in the other color so I can see it. Alright, so we're gonna go with corn flower blue as our yarn color, so that's gonna be our sky. Into the bucket. Alright. Now, we do have some clouds. Where are they? They're gonna be like, yeah, this isn't gonna come through, cause yeah, white on, yeah, that's, We'll use our imaginations. These are where the white clouds are gonna be. Obviously not quite shaped like that, but you get the idea. You get the idea. We'll have a few cloudy boys in there. You do the L as a joke like Salman Rushdie. He does it to fuck with me. Like, he'll forget and he'll say it, and then I'm like, no L. And he'll continue to do it on purpose just to fuck with me. I'm like, no L. Alright, so what am I? Oh yeah, clouds. We'll do our, and it's just white. It's not a fancy name, it's just white yarn. Okay. So we'll pull out the white into the bucket. Now he's got some trees in the background here that are some interesting colors. There's some purple trees. What looks to be some sort of orange and some sort of yellow. So, forgive my shitty handwriting. I might know what it says when we come back to this again. Maybe. Background trees. So we've got purple. I'm gonna say burnt orange. And I don't know what that is. A golden yellow. Alright, so plus I'm writing in colored pencil. It's not the easiest thing to write in. So for purple, it's kind of a darker purple. Sorry, I keep turning my head away from the microphone. I'm trying to talk louder when I do. I'm looking at the fluff wall. It's not like a black purple. It kind of feels like a pansy purple, to be perfectly honest. I do have a pansy purple. If I can get it off of my clothesline here. But I also have a jam color. But the jam's pretty dark. Sometimes it's hard to see with the plastic. Let's see. So I'm standing up at the moment. I don't know. I mean, I guess either would be fine. You know, I think I might go with the jam just to change it up a little bit. Because I feel like this might be more, I think I hear sirens. There might be an ambulance or something that's gonna go by in a minute. I feel like this might fit more with the burnt orange color I'm gonna grab. So we've got this darker purple. That's blue. I think you're blue too. No, you're purple. What the fuck? Crayola. Crayola, that's not violet purple. I'm sorry. No. This is just a... That'll do for now. I do have to sharpen it though. You know, let me put it on manual. Well, let me try to put it on manual. Come on. These Crayola pencils don't want to sharpen. Okay, never mind. First, these are old pencils. And the wood on them is really tough. Ow! It's like the pencil's turning in my grip. Oh. That's some tough ass wood. I need a fucking box knife on that one. We're gonna have to manually sharpen that guy. Alright, so we've got kind of like our cypress fluffy trees from Planet Zoo. Kind of chilling out in the background here. Kind of hanging out. There's not a whole lot of them. I'm probably going to take them to the ground just in case there's any gaps for what comes in front of them. So maybe... So kind of like really elongated teardrops, basically. I'm just doing this quick, so... Alright. Oh, so we're gonna do... For our background trees, we're gonna go with the color Jam. So for burnt orange, I think we're gonna grab one of those new colors that we only saw a tiny bit of. Here we go. We'll do synonym. Synonym. I forgot I turned the battery off and I'm like gently pushing it in. I'm like, when's it gonna take it? That's not a bad point on that. I mean, it was a cheap pencil sharpener. I think it was like $5. I was like, yeah, okay, we can give that a whirl. Oh, my point was so fine I broke it. Cinnamon. Okay, so we've got, like you guys get the idea, the cypressy trees. The landscapey trees. I mean, it's not going to be an exact carbon copy of his. That's not what we're trying to do. It never will be for me in this medium. And that's okay. Okay, so we got a few of those guys in there. Alright, so shinananim. Like CNN. You know, one of those words. And then the golden yellow. We're probably just gonna go with glorious gold. It's kind of becoming a staple color in this series. Actually, I guess it really would just be a staple Bob Ross color. This is how much we've used. We've used this one. That's how much glorious gold we've used. It's like our yellow ochre color. That's crazy. Another one that's being stubborn about sharpening. It's definitely the wood on these pencils. Alright, so what did I say? Glorious Gold? Okay. So we've got these guys chilling out back here. I think that'll go to the ground back there. And our world, so we can, you know, do whatever we want with these trees. You have some like that. Yeah, like some of these woods, they're not the easiest to sharpen. And my track record with knives isn't the greatest, so I get really nervous about box cutters sharpening them. Oh, well that just happened. This particular lead on this one's been breaking a lot. These are also very old colored pencils. I think I've had them like 4 or 5 years, or they've just been getting kicked around. Alright, so I'm not surprised. Okay. So he did like some misty shit back in there. I think I'm just gonna let them hang out there. Oh wait, let me find our glorious gold. I didn't pull that out yet. Into the bucket. Okay, those are in there. Now, we're gonna need our chocolate brown for the ground. Into the bucket. What do we want to call this? Pathway? Barn pathway? Oh yes, let's just mix capital and lower cases all through here. Brown, dark, and we need a highlight. I just forgot to write dark in front of it, so that was, I was like, oh shit, I need to squeeze this in. So chocolate brown. I mean, I'm pulling the colors out now, so it doesn't matter that much, but at least I know what I was thinking when we were doing the sketch. So soft fudge for our highlight. So copper? It's kind of like our soft fudge color, so we'll... What are you? Are you beaver? No, you're dark chocolate. It'll work. Alright, so we'll get this guy kind of put in around in here. Okay, we don't see that down in there. Okay. And then like our soft fudgy color, that's gonna be our ground highlight for the pathway. Okay. So we need some grass for this thing to sit on. So, honestly, there should be dirt in here, right? And I'm wondering, what would it look like why is there no point on this? Grass background, I guess we'll call it. So we need a green, a yellow, and I guess dirt under it. So instead of filling in the dirt first, what do we think it would look like if we took like our spring green? I'm like nervous about thinking about this, and I don't know if it's gonna work. So let go. So if we have our spring green, and maybe the buttercup yellow mixed together, so I was thinking, what if we take like the dirt color excuse me, sorry, and mix it in with like the grass roll, like we do, like the grass snake. Then I guess it would look more like dead grass in there, wouldn't it? That might look too muddy. Alright, so we'll nix that. So dirt. So chocolate brown. Sorry, I had to work through how I thought it was going to look in my brain. Sometimes you have to say it out loud to kind of get an idea of it, but I think it might, because that's a lot of dark that would be mixing in there. It probably won't look quite right. So what if we go chocolate brown for the dirt, what are you? Pine green. So what if we go like pine green? Momo, do you have to potty?
Yep, hang on, buddy.
Do I need to get him?
No, hi, Zuzu.
Oh, is it Zuzu?
Yeah, it's Wiggles. I suppose Wiggles hasn't gotten his outside time yet.
So if we maybe go a dark green, and then our spring green rolled in with it. And then we add just a little bit of a brighter yellow here and there. That might work. Okay, so that might work. So we'll go buttercup, yellow. I think it is actually called spring green. No, light green. I'm sorry. Light green. So these two, and then what shade of green? I've got I've got a grass green, a varsity green, or a hunter green. I'm thinking hunter green might be too dark. Lime green and light green are very, very similar. So I don't want to put that in. Ooh, we have a forest green. That's a new color for us. Forgot we picked this bad boy up. I think that's a color combo that'll probably work together. Hard to tell with the glare. But, so that's that boy. And then this guy. They are different in shade. And then with a little bit of... Yeah, I think those will probably work out there. So into the bucket you go. You're being temporarily banished to the bucket. Bucket, no! No, not the bucket! No! Oh, let us out of the bucket. Alright, so... It kind of feels like back around here, kind of, like looking at it, it's a very weird setup here. So if we've got our dirt kind of laying in here, oh, just the angle of this back corner just feels strange. And it might make more sense when we work on it step by step. So we get our dirt put in there. I know this is pine green. This isn't the actual green we're going to use, but kind of feels like this is running down towards the water. You okay?
Yeah.
What was that noise? Maybe it was cow snoring again.
Probably.
Because it almost sounded like a dog growl. Or somebody going, ooh, like really deep. It like freaked me out. Oh, I found the box of tissues that was missing. Okay, yeah, it was the cat. I apparently picked up the box of tissues, have no memory of doing so, and laid it on the bed next to me. And then when I got up, I threw the covers over me to Russell's side of the bed and apparently covered the tissue box. And didn't find it until we went to bed that night. I'm like, how the fuck are these here? Like, I have no memory of picking that box up whatsoever. Because I didn't even think of the box till after I was already standing up. So I have no idea what the fuck happened. And I certainly have no memory of placing it there. But that's where I found it. Go figure. Alright, so something like that, I guess. Again, it's not going to end up looking very close to our sketch or Bob's in the end, but it'll be something. Now, looking at his, this is probably all dirt filled in on this side as well. And we've got some kind of large, weird, shrubby thing here. You know what? I think these trees do come over. I wasn't so sure if they did, but I think we'll probably bring them over. Oh wait, that's not the right color. What are you doing, Nee? I got confused. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna bring them all the way over just for the sake of argument. Just to cover that section there. Where did that little tip go? There it is. Just to make life easier. Okay. So we do that. There's this weird shrubby do here. Oh, I didn't finish writing our colors down. Hold on. So chocolate brown dirt, yellow, buttercup yellow, light green, forest green. Okay. Side. We'll call it the side shrub. Because it's behind this tree. Okay. So... hang on. I'm doing that wrong. So we need a brown and a green. So it's going to be like chocolate brown. And I need a dark green. So we might use the hunter green there. Yeah, we'll go hunter green. And then to highlight it, we'll probably use another one of our newer greens. So we'll go with this guy. and maybe drab olive to highlight him. I feel like that would probably work out. Okay, so into the bucket. And let's see here. I don't really think I have quite the right colors here. So I'm just kind of doing squiggles here. That's kind of what this feels like. Like we might just do like little circular poofs coming out, and then little lighter circular poofs on top of it. Alright. Now for our building itself. Okay, so almost dropped it. Okay. So our barn. So I'm thinking the base is probably going to be a brown. And then we're going to need some kind of like gray. There's going to be some I don't know. We're going to call that white. Probably. Like white highlights on there. We're gonna need some black. And that's like just for the barn. So like just the walls. So chocolate brown. And so we've already got our chocolate brown away from the phone, but heard about the tissues. You'd no doubt do something like that. Yeah, I have no memory of picking that box up because where it was placed, like I have a nightstand and then I have a kitty litter bucket right shoved between sort of partially under the nightstand because like the top of it sticks out. It's a very old table that has a lamp built into it. So it's kind of like a pole. It's like so it's like table, base sticking out of it, like legs, and then like the lamp is like built into the table. It's ancient. So the table overhangs a little bit. So down here in between the bed and this table, I've got a kitty litter bucket like lined with a plastic bag to use as a trash can. Because, you know, I suffer from nosebleeds at times because when I was little, I popped a blood vessel in my nose. It just popped open. I guess it got too dry or whatever, and it broke open, and they had to cauterize it closed. And ever since then, I've had nosebleeds off and on. It's just something I've had to deal with. So I tend to keep trash bags around, you know, especially in bed at night, because sometimes I have woken up and had a bloody nose, or I'm stuffy and I go to blow my nose and then I have a nosebleed. They haven't been so bad lately, but sometimes they've been pretty bad. But I had a rectangular box of tissues that had fallen down. And I couldn't find them in the abyss that was down here with all the other stuff crammed around it. And I had a roll of paper towels to clean up hairballs and stuff sitting next to it. And then I took the square box of tissues and put it on the edge. And at one point, I heard something fall, and I was like, oh fuck, the box of tissues fell. And I was expecting it to go this way. Now, either it did go that way and it fell out into the doorway walking out of our room, and Russell picked it up and put it on the bed, or I somehow woke up, put my arm down, grabbed the box, and put it this way on his side of the bed, and then threw the blankets over it, or somehow he put it there. I have no memory, because I remember getting up, and it was the box of tissues that I was transporting between desk and bed at the time. So I was sharing the location. I was like, oh, I need to grab my box of tissues and put them on the desk. And I bent down to grab it, and it was gone. And I'm like, where the fuck are my tissues? Like, I distinctly did not remember picking them up. I don't know how they ended up on his side of the bed under the blankets. He was already up when I got up. I don't know if he moved him and didn't remember that he moved him. It is a mystery we will never have the answer to. Right, so getting back to the barn. So we've already got our chocolate brown put aside. We need to find a gray. And I'm thinking, do we want taupe or do we want, you know what, I think we'll go taupe. Cause like I have a medium gray and I have a taupe and they're very similar, but this feels a little more smoky and a little more brown. Alright, so what are you? You are taupe. How the hell do I spell you? Tape with a U. Tape plus U. Okay. So taupe. That's a little bit grayer than that. What about you? Oh, you are actually called taupe. Mine's a little bit grayer than that, but okay. So, like chocolate, hue, white. We're not gonna be able to put the highlights in on this and have it be visible right now. That says dark brown. I already had a dark brown. Oh, we have dark chocolate. Outer space. Good enough for this. Okay. So the inside door is going to be black because it's dark inside, right? So that would be black. So obviously black and white. Okay. And then this guy is like black up here. Because it does look like there's boards missing and spots, so okay, this section is kind of running this way. And then like bits of the taupe in here in spots. And then we might have a little bit of black in there in a couple of places. And then, you know, the white highlighty thingies. So then down here, we'll go dark brown. And then our taupey color. I know this is just another sheet of brown thrown on top of it, but I promise ours will look a little bit different when we actually get to laying down the fluff. Okay, and then we'll probably take our black and we'll kind of shade in a bit more on this side just to try to darken that side up a little, and then there's be just a couple spots here and there over in here where it's a little bit darker. That might actually be a door on that side. Or maybe it's just a panel missing. Okay, so we need our roof now. Again, this is just super rough, you guys. Super, super, super rough. Okay, so roof will be, again, brown. That's a different pencil. Some kind of red. White. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. So we're gonna do chocolate brown, which is basically our Van Dyke brown equivalent. Forgot to add in our dark shadow overhang in there. That'd be more the building though. So I'm gonna have to change the angle in this building a little bit when I go to sketch it in, or we're gonna try to. Where's the... Okay, so if we lay this in, as our base, right? We need a roof color. And I actually have a color called Rust. Do I have this backwards? Should this be the synonym trees in the back and the synonym be the roof color? You know what? I'm gonna change it. Cinnamon. And then you are gonna be Rust. Because we can do that. But looking at the colors, I think this would probably be better. Alright, and then there's like a white edge going all the way down there, and then there's like a black edge on the top. Okay, like ours is more brown and that's more gray, but that is because of the colors that I have. Now I promise our taupe will be a little more gray in the yarn color. Okay, so then that is white and we'll go black question mark. Okay, I'll make that decision when we get there. Okay, so our lake we have to fill in. Like a gray blue. So gray blue and I guess our dark brown. Tell you what, we'll go gray blue, dark brown, and our taupe color. How about that? So chocolate for like the highlights. The actual water, I think we're gonna grab denim for. Oh, what? Oh, I'm tired. I'm always tired. So it's kind of like a grayed down blue. Kinda. What are you? Slate. Close. Like, I would say it was this pencil sharpener. Struggling. And not very good. But at the same time, some of the pencils it works fine on. So, alright, so we have our water. Right. Alright, so denim. And then taupe. So that would be this guy. And then this guy. I mean, in reality, we'll do it this way. Like how we tried to do the reflections on the one we just did. That's how we're gonna try to do that. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the microphone. Apologize. See this one? That's a nice point. It's probably gonna snap, but okay. So denim. That's a new color in play. Okay. So then that. Okay. Down in here, we're gonna have some more dirt coming in here, but we're gonna have, that's not the right one, so we're gonna have some shrubbies. varying sizes. And colors. Alright, so you okay?
Yeah.
What do we want to call this? Back of path? What do you want on your burger?
The usual stuff.
Okay, so we need... I don't know what that means.
The only thing you really have to worry about is if we want to bake the bacon with it or not. That's up to you. But I think your mom prefers it that way.
Bake the bacon with it?
Yeah. It depends on if you want bacon on your burger.
You said bake it with it, so...
You get the idea.
I'm like, we're not cooking in the oven. Sorry, my... Alright, so we have dark brown. We need some... green. That's descriptive. Light green. Maybe some burnt orange. And how about some yellow? Okay, so oh wait. No, not on that. So our light green and yellow and our dark green. So that's gonna be chocolate. Same as our grassy colors. Buttercup. And forest. Okay, and then we have our shrubs. We'll call them like shrubs. So those are gonna be dark brown, yellow, burnt orange. Wow, that was a struggle. I really wanted to put the R next to the B instead of have it being BU. I really wanted it BRU. No. Burnt orange, light green. Okay, so that's gonna be chocolate for the stickies. Buttercup. Rust. And it is actually called light green. Okay. So we've got so say like up to here. We've got our, again, I'm just doing this quick because this is just kind of getting the idea thrown together, trying to get our yarn colors worked out in the brain kind of deal. Just kind of a concept. How are we gonna make this work, sorta situation here. I should probably have that grass filled in back there too. And the yellow. I know this is probably kind of sloppy and a little boring, but sometimes I have an easier, like, I don't feel quite so pressured to be picking out my colors when we just do it on the fly. And then I don't spend 20 minutes trying to figure out what shade of green I want. So it seems a little bit easier to do it this way, at least for me. So, and yeah, I know it's messy and kind of all over the place, but it's basically working for me for the most part. And if you do better doing it on the fly as you go, hey, good for you then. You can do it that way. I can't. We didn't really pick out a... This is close enough for that. And we'll have another light green guy. We can always do like a combo of like forest green and maybe the orangey color, as I believe I've put in more shrubbery than he had, but that's okay. Can do another yellow guy and our rust color kind of mixed together in there, and then we could do maybe a forest green one and a yellow. So I'm gonna actually add into here forest green as well. Okay, so we'll just add that guy in there. Okay, so then we have our fence. So we need brown and white. Okay, so then like right here, so we just have to put in some fence posts, and then it just kind of vanishes. Alright, I'm just gonna do this in black, but it's gonna end up being white, and it'll be easier to see it. It just kind of goes off into somewhere. I don't know where. Okay, so that kind of goes that way. This is in here. So we've got dirt on this side. And then we've got our grassy bits in here. and then let's see, our forest green. That's not the forest green. Well, yeah, that's probably forest green equivalent. Lighty green. Okay, so he's just kind of got, it's just kind of chaos over here. All of our grassy guys. Okay, and there's some kind of steps, stones, something. I don't know if this is like highlighted or it might supposed to be stones. Potentially. So okay, so our fence, running out of room. Chocolate brown. It's gonna be white. I know I did black there, but just so it could be seen. Okay. Front path. Grass. Alright, so that is our dark green, light green, and yellow. Okay, so that is our forest green, our light green, and buttercup. Okay, pathway itself is going to be dark brown. It really looks like gray. I mean, we'll find out when we get there. And maybe white. So chocolate. Medium gray. White. Alright, so we'll grab this color. What is this? Elephant gray. Not medium gray. Elephant gray. And white. And then we've got a couple of trees. Right, so these are like a lighter grayish brown. They're kind of like in front of this shrub. Right? And I don't really see any branches coming off of these dudes, so brown, it kind of looks like a goldish color and a light green. Forgot how to spell light for a second. Okay, so I'm gonna go toffee. We haven't seen that color yet. That's one of my new colors. Glorious gold. That one's already in the bucket. And light green is already in the bucket. So we want to kind of put our branches in on this guy. And then there's a little bit of tree showing, a little bit of trunky guy. And then there's some more leafy bits, kind of on both sections. It kind of goes all the way across, going off the edge there. And then another bit down here. Okay, so then that would be, what did I just say? Need our glorious gold. I'm gonna have to sharpen this guy to get some kind of lid exposed on him. He's been a very breaky guy though. Alright, so we'll get some of you popped into here. It's gonna be hard to see this guy, but you know, just so that we can kind of get the idea. Like green mixed into that. Alright, and then there's like a little bit of white highlight on that guy. Alright, so toffee, we have to grab the toffee. So this is my toffee color. So I think we have a plan in place for episode 11. So this way, on Sunday, we can just dive right in to working on putting this the base shapes onto our sheet of felt. I'm gonna try to use the thicker sheet of felt, see how we feel about that one. Although I'm not sure, because now that I bought it, I'm wondering if it's gonna get too thick. We're gonna have a lot of fluff going through it. I don't know, I'm gonna have to think about it. Or maybe I can do a test corner and see how I feel about how it handles the fluff going into it. But so that's kind of our very quick idea. Yeah, lots of colors in this one. Much different from the last one. Vastly different. Maybe we can try to conjure spring along with this one. Let's see. Let's hope. So this one's got a ton of colors with it. At least the world's not on fire on this one. So we'll show our last one more time. So this was the one that we just completed, and it is okay. It's okay. Not my favorite, but it's okay. It's a lot of red for me, but you know, we tried. We definitely tried. Participation trophy. So, you know, we gave it a go. But I will be back on Thursday. No extra streams this week because Tyler's on spring break from college and he's going to be doing some extra stuff with the husband in between his work schedule. So, no extra streams this week, but that's okay because I've got stuff I've got to do. And, so I will be back on Thursday for Coral Island. And we'll be picking back up during the winter season. Trying to see if we can bump that town rank to C in time to get those tea leaves. I don't know if we're gonna. Because I was dragging my feet a little bit. The only thing that might help with that is if I get the chickens put in and get the right chicken eggs, but I don't know if I have the money to put the chickens in, so we'll see if we have enough stuff to put the chickens in now that I can get those logs out of the way and finish enclosing the animal area. But that is a matter for Thursday. I hope you guys have a good week. It looks wild and not in a bad way. It's very different. It is very different. I think that's where I'm struggling with it because I'm just like, it's so dark. It's such a different one for him. But I'll get the photos posted in the places later tonight. I'll see you guys on Thursday for Coral Island, Friday for Planet Zoo, and Saturday we should be finishing our sketchbook cover, I think. So you guys have a great week. Everybody take care, and I will see you on Thursday. Thanks for popping in, and don't forget to follow the socially do's and like and follow and all the things. Have a good week.